Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to the Relationship Cheat Code, where we give you the game,
Yes.
helping you to stress less and experience your absolute best in your relationship. This right here is my beautiful, my gorgeous, my impeccable, my indelible, my edible wife.
Oh,
Yeah.
not edible.
Yes.
All right, y'all. This right here, this dude right here, it's my baby's daddy. My boo boo baby.
Oh yeah.
My poo poo. You don't like when I say that stuff.
I mean, trying to babyfy me, right? I'm not
Because you are my baby.
Right now. I'm not your child. It's
No,
my
I'm
boo-boo
not.
baby,
I'm saying that like you're my boo baby.
Okay.
You're my little pumpkin. My sweetheart, my man, my protector, my confidant, my best friend, Ayize.
Yes. How you feeling, babe?
It's a busy day.
Yeah.
It's a busy day. So a lot of stuff going on. A lot of little deadlines and little fires we've been putting out from the top of the morning up until now. So I'm feeling surprisingly grounded.
Okay, that's different. You typically be like saying tired or
Oh, I do.
I'm just making it through, and you always going up the hill like.
I'm just putting one foot in front of the other. That is so true. And there's like a lot going on right now. But you know what? Because as you know, we had a little fire this morning. You know what I mean? Like not a real fire, a little situation we had to deal with. And it was a thing. And it was, like overwhelming emotionally in that moment. And you know what was so helpful for me? I was right there. I was talking to you, and we handled it. And then you saw me kind of get emotional. Sometimes I just need to get that discharge. I need to cry. I just need to get it out. Yeah. So I did that, and then I walked away. And do you know what I did? I went back to what I learned some time ago. If you all don't know about this, first of all, let me just say this. Let me connect in why I think this is important, and then we'll shift into the question that we're answering today. It's so much of like what we talk about in relationships, and then even within ourselves, is about like emotional regulation, right? Like dealing with our intense feelings and our emotions and so forth. And it's so important because if we don't, we'll have an issue or attitude with our partner all the time. We'd be popping off on them or shutting down on them or not in touch with our own self, whatever the case may be. And so for me, that was a moment of some overwhelm, like just lots of stuff. I already had stuff on my brain waking up in the morning. I was like, dang, and now we got to deal with this. But I tapped. I tapped. I went in the bathroom, y'all, and what I'm talking about is tapping. And for those who are interested in learning more about it, it's actually technically called the Emotional Freedom Technique, EFT, where you are tapping on pressure points. And there is a lot of research out there. There's some who see it and like, wait a minute, what is this tapping stuff, right? But when you really pay attention to it and you combine tapping with affirmations, it grounds you. And I really think that helped to shift my energy because I was like praying and then I was like, okay, what else can I do? And I just started doing my affirmations and, tapping, and it got me grounded. And I literally just realized now in this moment.
No, I feel you.
Wait a minute. Y'all, if you could see how my husband's looking at me, I looked up as I'm talking. He was like this. Like you just look so confused. I don't know what that was.
I'm just in deep thought.
Oh, you just in deep thought. Okay.
Yeah, I just know when I
you look like you looking like, huh?
Nah, I mean, when I tap that, I'm grounded too. So I definitely get.
Oh, no, you did.
I definitely get what you mean. So, yeah.
You funny. You're funny. So yes, I'm just realizing now, like, wow, like I need to do that more often. I need to bring that. That has been in my arsenal for some time. And I have periods of time where I go into it more deeply. And I'm going to have to start doing that a little bit more.
I need to tap more often too.
We talk about tapping pressure points.
I mean, that's what I'm talking about too.
Your cheekbones,
I'm tapping pressure points as well. Yeah, I need to tap more often.
Yeah, okay.
So, let me just say this, y'all. So I feel a sense of gratitude.
You just came off of a great weekend.
Yeah, I did. But I'm always grateful to be able to sit here and do this podcast with my wife, connecting with her, and just build with her. And so I'm truly thankful, again, for this experience and this opportunity to not just sit here with you, but to be able to share a piece of ourselves so that you all can grow. And then we grow in the experience as well. Yeah. So thank you. All right, let me go ahead and hop right into this question, y'all. So this sister wrote in, and I'm not going to say any names, but she says that my husband and I have been married for 3 years, and we have a strong foundation of love and respect. We can rap about anything and everything except sex. Yes, except that thing right there. After experiencing sexual abuse as a child, intimacy has become incredibly difficult, and it feels as though I'm walking a tightrope. She said that I crave closeness and connection that comes with physical intimacy, but it also requires vulnerability, which triggers her, and she starts to feel some sense of fear and shame. She said that she has not told him about the abuse. They've been married for 3 years. She hadn't told him about the abuse, and then she's worried that if she does, it will damage their relationship. Is there a way for me to heal from the trauma and build a more fulfilling sexual intimacy and closeness with my husband? Build more fulfilling sexual intimacy and closeness with my husband after dealing with trauma. This is a deep question.
Yeah, I mean, this is a deep question, but I appreciate the question, the sister who wrote in, because I actually think it's much more common of a dynamic than most people realize. I mean, I have counseled and coached many women over the years who've had this issue and have shared it with their partner, and their partner knows, and those who have not, those who have triggers and stuff happening during sex and things coming up, and they're trying to figure out how to navigate that, and they're not telling their partner, and others who are like, I don't really have any issue, right? Like it doesn't come forward. I've also coached, and I know we both have, folks who are really desirous of a lot of sexual contact and like physicality in their relationship, and they want to do it a lot. Yeah. A lot meaning, y'all, when I say a lot, I mean like every day, right?
Multiple times a day.
Right. Sometimes multiple times a day, and been able to connect that back even to some of the sexual abuse that they experience, right? But the one thing that has always stood out to me, this is just my professional opinion, and this is just my opinion. I think that when you share, right, like when you share with your partner what your experience has been, no matter how difficult or what have you, when you share, you really open up another level of closeness, intimacy, connection, access, and opportunity for y'all to go someplace you have not gone before. So the choice is to sit in the same place and deal with the same issue by yourself, alone, deal with whatever is coming up for you, triggers you're having, feelings you're having, and then on top of that, have to deal with the heaviness of your partner's expectation, his not even understanding what you're dealing with or going through. He might be getting frustrated sometimes, right? Like there's this whole nother level of stuff you have to manage. And I just think it's unfair to you. I just think it's unfair. And the thing is that we don't be fair to ourselves. Yeah. It ain't like he doing it to you. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times we're not fair to ourselves because we're trying to carry a burden that we shouldn't have to carry alone. If this is your husband, and I know you all are newly married, y'all still in that newlywed phase, but I'm curious as to how things have been going, because it's not been 3 weeks or 3 months. It's been 3 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's supposed to have committed to everything that comes with you. That shame piece, I think, is a big piece, and we'll come back to that. But I just think that's a big piece, because I think that's what keeps people from sharing a lot of times. It's just difficult for people.
It does definitely keep people from sharing those experiences, those traumatic experiences. And with that being said, though, as you just mentioned, this is your husband. It is your husband. And the goal and the idea is for him to be able to create a safe space for you to be able to share. But I think that first you got to grow comfortable with the idea within yourself of even sharing. And so one of the things that I would say, just to answer your question right off the top, yes, you can build a sexually fulfilling, close, intimate relationship with your husband even after experiencing sexual trauma. I want to say that. And again, we've helped folks in those experiences be able to overcome. At the same time, I do want to lift up that what's required is work, sis. Like, it's not something that you accidentally stumble into and get to a place where I'm just healed and I'm just better. you have to peel back the layers, take a look at self, and really get clear about what some of those barriers, impediments are that's blocking you from, number one, sharing, number two, even looking at the thing. Like sometimes it's so deeply buried in our minds and our psyches that we suppress it. And as a result, like there is no active memory of what took place, but we may even just have a feeling. But you know, even with that feeling, it doesn't diminish or even minimize the realness of it. It's still in you. It's encoded in your psycho-emotional DNA. And so we gotta be able to sift through and see, what is this thing? And when you do that, again, it takes courage. And what I would strongly recommend is that you get some support in doing that. I do think that unpacking that box, that bag, that cart, whatever it may be, you know, is really important that you get some support in doing that, and that you have ways to be able to effectively cope with whatever is kicked up, because it's heavy. It's heavy. And so we do want to extend just prayers and blessings to you, because we recognize that it's not an easy thing. It's not an easy thing. I will also say that once you do get to the other side, and even in the process of going through, to have somebody to go through it with you is an amazing blessing. To have somebody who's supportive and who understands and who got your back and who's willing to extend grace and patience. Because real talk, like if I'm him and I'm being blocked, I'm getting no's and I'm getting rejection and I'm getting resistance over and over and over again, I'm also getting angry. I'm also getting resentment built up. And I'm also maybe even open and like I'm starting to wonder like what's going on out here in these streets. And then I'm also having questions about my own ability, my attractiveness, and whether or not you're interested in me.
Just opens up a can of worms.
Yeah, so and again, you're not intentionally doing any of this, but I as a man am starting to question, like, do you want me? Do you want me? And so you know, whenever folks experience, especially these ACEs, they call ACEs, adverse childhood experiences, you know, it definitely has an impact on intimacy, connection, and that whole aspect of vulnerability. Like she's saying she wants to be vulnerable. I don't know how many times I've heard that before. I want to connect in, but there's this wall. Right. There's this barrier blocking me.
Yeah. And you know, something that you said, I don't remember exactly what it was, but it prompted this thought. So you're at a crossroads, and for everybody watching, we can translate and transfer this to any kind of secret, because it's really a secret at this point that she has not shared with her husband in terms of her past experiences. But you're at a place of decision. You know, my husband said, you know, it's his job to create a safe space for you, for sure, you know, as your husband. But particularly when we're like dealing with stuff like this, you know, I would also say it's first and foremost your job to create a safe space for you. No one else can create a safe space emotionally, mentally, physically, sexually for you unless you are able to do it for yourself, unless you know what that looks like. What does that mean for you? You know what I'm saying? Like, what does it mean for you to have a safe space so that you can go there, so that you can be intimate? Is going to be different from the next survivor of sexual trauma and what they need. And that needs to get very granular. It needs to be very concrete in terms of what that looks like for you. And when you can start to, as my husband said, kind of dig into that a bit, doing perhaps some individual work to unpack that a little bit. And I said a little bit on purpose, and I'll tell you why in a moment. And I might be a little bit biased. I am biased. But when you can do that, then you're going to be more equipped. You're not going to just be like your husband pushing up on you, or y'all getting ready to do a little something, or you come a little closer and then you're triggered and you're just reactive. You already know it's coming. You're going to be triggered, right? When people are doing intentional work in this area, that I know I'm going to be triggered more than likely. This is what it is going to feel like. So what will I do when that happens? And see, when your partner knows, then they can kind of get a clue and they can do something, even if it's just slowing down the process, right, is helpful. But first and foremost, you need to be able to have that sense for yourself so that you can share it with him, hopefully, eventually. Now, I said unpack it a little bit. So I think that one reason that people like stay stuck with this is because who wants to go unpack that shit? Like, who wants to go back? Like, when I hear about unpacking your sexual trauma and what has happened and what have you, I have done that work with people. It is heavy, heavy work. I think it's healthy and helpful, but I don't think fully unpacking is necessary.
Hey, what's up, y'all? So we know you're enjoying the episode, but check this out, y'all. We're not just any old random couple that's coming on YouTube every week just giving relationship suggestions and stuff like that. We're way more than that, y'all. We're trained therapists and relationship coaches. This right here is my beautiful, incredible, sensational wife, Aiyana.
And this right here is my dapper, debonair husband, Ayize. So y'all, we just want you to know that there is more. We don't want you to just be a spectator. We want you to get in here with us and join our community. We have all kind of folks who are doing their personal work, their relationship work. We have sister circles and men's lounges and trainings, and we address all kinds of things from infidelity to disconnection to communication issues and sex and intimacy issues. Look, the solution is at blandcore.com. Join us. And I just want people to like consider this. You know, having done this work over the years and read up on it and stuff like that, and what I've learned is that, and this is not just about sexual trauma, but it absolutely relates, is that most of the time people go to therapy or go to coaching or whatever, right, to work on something that is disrupting their life right now. So even if the thing happened when you were little or years ago, you're feeling a disruption right now. It's bothering you now. It's rising to the surface now. It's something's happening in your life, in your relationships, or you're feeling anxious or depressed. But the response is to what's happening now, and we might be able to connect that to some things that have happened in the past. And so what the research has shown, and I've said this, you know, in the past, is that in order to feel better, in order to be able to navigate your life better in the day-to-day, or in this case, in the bedroom with your husband, you don't necessarily have to go and unpack all of the nuances of the thing that is causing the distress that needs to be resolved. But what you do need to be able to do is figure out how deeply you want to go, which is a very personal decision. Somebody might want to fully unpack the thing and others may not. And then how much do you need to unpack in order to get the desired result that you want to have in your life today? Do I need to go back and like bring up all the memories and go? Not necessarily. Sometimes that's re-traumatizing. That's true. You know what I'm saying? But what is it that I need to unfold? And that's why I think what you said is so important. Doing this work with a professional, they can kind of help you ascertain that. They don't have the answer per se. It is a thing that only you can say, but they can help you to connect dots and that kind of thing. And so I'm just saying that because, again, I think that people kind of just hear this, like I can see somebody looking and be like, yeah, this is kind of me, but then just kind of like not knowing what to do with that. It just feels overwhelming. And so I just want to say that you don't have to address every nook and cranny of a thing in order to heal a thing. It doesn't have to work like that. And so I will share, as I've shared before, you know, my husband already knows this, that I am pretty 100% clear that I am a survivor of some type of sexual trauma or abuse. I have no memory at all whatsoever. But what I did experience in the early years of our marriage, as you know, is like having sex and feeling kind of like I'm floating, like I'm distancing myself from the situation, like I'm not crazy when I first fully present. And I remember exactly. I'm laughing because you would look like, I just remember how you was just like, what the heck are you talking about?
Am I not putting in that work? Like,
yeah, you made it about you.
I did. Yeah, I remember exactly where we were.
You did?
When you shared that with me. Yeah, we was in the car going to one of our children's daughters' appointments, and I don't know if we were both in the car.
Dang, I don't remember where we were.
Or if I was in the car by myself and I had to slow down as I was driving to like really make sure I heard what I heard. But I know exactly the road that we were on, and you told that to me, and I was like, what? I mean, of course, I was supportive, and
you were,
and I was receptive.
I don't think you even really understood.
Yeah,
I don't even think I really understood. I don't even know if I connected it at that time to like I think something happened to me. Did I even say that, or did I just say I be feeling like I'm not really fully present?
Yeah,
I think I think I was able to get in touch with that.
And then we started doing a little bit more research, some more digging. This was actually prior to me even going to get my master's and you know, doing some clinical study and stuff. But, you know, when I heard that, I did personalize it, and I felt like it was a referendum on my ability to be able to make your body shake and quiver.
That is just so crazy to me. Because
like,
it doesn't have anything to it's about me being mentally and emotionally present. You think it has to do about like you ain't hitting it good enough?
I did. I absolutely did. And so but when I finally got beyond that point of making it about me, I had to sit in the fact that my wife is hurting. My wife has this part of her that has been hidden, repressed, even to herself.
I know.
That I got to be sensitive to and take care of, and hold space for. And so I stopped making it about me, and I opened up the door to really understand you better, and give you grace and be more patient with you. And I mean, we have an amazing sex life.
I'm all the way present.
Yes.
All the way.
All the way.
All the way, all the way, all the way.
Power in the P.
Power in the P.
There's power in the D.
Oh, in the D.
Yeah.
In your D?
Yes.
Oh, I agree. But let me just say this, y'all. I mean, I'm saying that because this is just my experience. I give thanks to God that I don't have memory. Sometimes I do wonder, am I going to like remember one day? And I don't want to. You know what I mean? I'm actually feeling emotional as I say that. Like, I sometimes wonder, is that going to happen? Or like,
and you've asked questions too.
The more I've done what you mean?
You've asked questions of family members and you've done some.
Oh, like were you aware, does anything happen to me or whatever? Yeah. And nobody knows, right? Like no, you know. But I know that even that experience that I was having, kind of feeling like I wasn't present. That's a common defense mechanism. And for those who are survivors, you all are probably, many of you, very familiar with not being present, kind of disassociating, and really not being present in the experience. So I think at that point I had been through school, so I had heard a little bit about dissociation, and I was like, what's happening? Like, this sounds like what I was learning about in school. So, you know, it was curious to me, and I was like, this is like how people act who've been abused sexually or something. And, you know, over time, over the years, even at that time, I didn't say I had, I just realized over time, I feel like something has happened. I just know it. And so sometimes you can know a thing, but you just don't have any recollection. So back to my original point, I have a very fulfilling emotional and sexual connection with my husband. Where it is today is not where it was earlier on. It was great. It was the greatest it could be at that time, based on who I was at that time and based on who my husband was. And it's grown over time, and it's gotten deeper over time, and wider and juicier and all those things. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't have to go figure all that out. I didn't have to go try to dredge up the memory and somebody hypnotize me into remembering or something to do that. So I just want to say that because I want to release people from feeling like, dang, I got to go and do like some deep therapy over this to be able to feel good in the bedroom with my partner. And I think that everybody's situation is different, and you have to look at the impact, what's happening in your life now that is disruptive, that is unwanted, that is disconnecting for you and your partner, and you attack that thing. There are some people who just really want to go deep, and they just want to know everything, you know? They just want to know what happened. That's fine. I'm not knocking that. I'm just saying for those who are kind of like holding back and don't even want to tell their partner, don't even want to get into it because you feel like, I got too much going on right now. I can't open up my life like that and be ready to feel like I'm about to pass out from whatever I discover. I feel you. And I just want you to know that there's a way to be able to reach places of deep satisfaction and connection, and to grow your bodily, your emotional and mental capacity to receive connection and love and stimulation in a way that feels good and in a way that grows with you over time as you and your partner grow. But I definitely would say, tell your boo. Tell your husband. You know, even if you have to do some individual work, our links are always around, you know, for you to be able to get more information.
That's where it started with us. You know, we had already had quality connection, and but when you shared that with me, I was surprised. But what I would say is that in you sharing that, it was able to launch us into an even deeper connection, because now I'm able to see you in a different way, and you're giving a part of yourself to me. Like, you're trusting that part of your story and giving it to me, and that enabled us to go even deeper. And so again, please share, but again, create that sense of safety for yourself first. But when you do share, essentially what you're doing is giving your husband an opportunity to hold your heart. This is the man you chose to spend the rest of your life with. And if he is the one, he will hold your heart.
And and if he doesn't hold it correctly, or he holding his like sloppy with his hold, or he's, you know what I'm saying, meaning that sometimes people don't give us the responses that, you know, we're looking for, or people are just, they just don't know what to do. They're like, this is some heavy stuff, and I don't even know what to do. Or they trying to make it better. They be like, oh, you know what I'm saying, but it happened a long time ago, right? You good? You know, or something stupid like that, because that would be pretty stupid to say. Hopefully somebody listening who said that, damn, catch that and go back and apologize for that. You know, I just want to normalize that it can be, you know, awkward and just new territory. It's just new territory. Right. And everybody has like a different level of comfort with talking about this kind of stuff anyway. So give your husband grace at the same time. And yes, this piece I'm getting ready to say extends beyond this issue. This is a relationship, a marriage principle that some of y'all are in resistance to. And that is, you must teach your partner, you must teach your husband how to love you. You must teach him how to treat you, how to love you, what it looks like, what works for you. You must give him examples. You must say, like, for example, when this happens, I would like you to do this. When I say this, I would prefer that you not say something like this, right? You got to actually do that even in this kind of scenario. Yes, we want the knight in shining armor to come and sweep us off our feet and, you know, say all the right things. And some of us are blessed, like me, you know, that I have a poet for a husband. So he be saying the right things, not 100% of the time, but, you know, I'm just saying he be hitting it. But even in something like this, I just want us to be mindful about giving grace and recognizing that your healing is your responsibility, and you can get equipped. You can get more of what you need to do that. You can get support. And then as you share with your partner, you will also have the opportunity to equip him. He can also equip himself, but he can't do it without you telling him some stuff. It just don't work like that. So you've got to be willing to take a risk. And I hope that what we've shared today has helped you to be able to be willing to take that risk. I think for real, at the end of the day, it's all about what kind of relationship do I want to have? How deep do I want to go? It never ceases to amaze me in all these years doing all this work that there are people who have been together 20, 30, and 40 years, and they're only about 5 to 7 years deep in their emotional intimacy. It never ceases to amaze me. I mean, I know this. I know it's, you know, getting close and being intentional, you know, is a decision. It is not automatic. It does not come with time. It comes with intention. So I know it, but when I see that, I'm like, wow. But then we can sit in front of a couple who've been together for 8 years, and they seem to have the emotional intimacy of a couple who's been together for 18 years. Because they have been really committed to their own personal development and to getting to know themselves and their partner better and making room and all that stuff. You know what I mean? So it really comes down to what kind of relationship do I want to have? How deep do I want to go? How connected do I want to be with my partner? And how much do I want to be able to say, like I'm in here. I'm in here both feet in, you know what I'm saying? They know me. He knows me. I know him. And even as much as I know Ayize, I know that there's more to know. Yeah. But I'm here for it. You know what I mean? I'm here for it. And it's a decision. It's a decision that sometimes we don't recognize we're making. And we're making a decision not to be in close connection, not to have great emotional depth and intimacy with our partner, because we're not willing to actually open ourselves up, open our hearts up, and be seen. And so, sis, I want you to perhaps over the next few days journal on this affirmation. It's okay to be seen. It's okay to be seen. It's okay for you to see yourself fully in everything that you've been through. And it's okay for your husband to see you. It's okay to be seen. It's okay to be seen. That's for all of us. It's okay to be seen.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. I like that, baby, that affirmation. And what I would say is that after you've done your affirmations and when you're ready to have the conversation, there's nothing that's stopping you from establishing what you would like the outcome of the conversation to be before you actually engage. You know, we have certain outcomes and deliverables and project goals and objectives and stuff. It's not like we start certain things and we don't have this destination that we're trying to get to. We have a destination that we're trying to get to. And so be clear about what it is that you're looking for. And so if you want your husband to understand you, if you want your husband to support you, if you want your husband to hold your heart, if you want your husband just to sit and you know, hug you after it, there's nothing that's stopping you from saying, like, this is going to be a heavy conversation. I'm even unsure about how to even share with you what I'm about to share. But I want to share it because I want you to know and I love you. And I'm trusting you with a part of me that I haven't trusted with anybody else before. And I would love for you to just hold me after it.
Ooh, give me goosebumps.
And, you know, just tell me that it's going to be okay. Tell him. Tell him what you want and tell him what you need.
Yeah.
We got to be clear about that outcome, because then it's not just up in the air, like you're moving in a direction toward a thing. And ultimately, what y'all are co-creating is a safe space.
That's good. Y'all feel that? That just felt delicious to me.
It did, baby.
That's why we can stand on top of our stuff. That's why whatever trauma we've been through, we get to choose. Whatever funkiness we've been through, we get to choose to use it as a platform to stand on top of. And we can stand on top of that platform with our partner in our relationship and not be subdued by it and not be weighed down by it, but be elevated by it. And we can do that in the world with anybody that we come into contact with. Oh, that's that good relationship work is personal work.
Yes.
It's about to get me in my church rock. God is good all the time and there's nothing he cannot heal. That was good, Pastor. Oh my goodness, everybody. We hope that this was an impactful episode to you. We know so many people deal with this issue, and we just want you to know you can be free. You can be light, even in the midst of the heaviness. It is your choice. It is your decision. Relationship work is always personal work. We want you to subscribe. We want you to share this podcast, get it out so that we can continue to elevate the call for everybody to be the best versions of themselves and to do the work that they need so that they can have the relationships that they really deserve. We appreciate y'all. Send your questions in, give us your suggestions, and we'll see you next time on Relationship Cheat Code.
Peace.